Investment appraisal techniques and calculations. The following question will be used to do the required calculations under investment appraisal techniques. The management of Leeds Garments requires a forecasted V for their new investment or the factory yet to be opened. Management is asking you to evaluate the plant and equipment cost of the new factory to be. As per the forecasts, it would cost £1 million up to the point of implementation. It would last for 5 years and it would then be sold for £50,000 end of the 5th year. Cash inflows for future of the plant can be elaborated as follows. Year 1, £200,000. Year 2, £200,000. Year 3, £235,000. Year 4, £250,000. Year 5, £160,000. This question states, you're required to advise the feasibility of the investment by using investment appraisal techniques such as payback period, discounted payback period, accounting rate of return, net present value, and decide the effective internal rate of return. Consider the cost of capital as 12%. So this is the discounting factor that we'll be using for the question. Before we move ahead with the question, it says, it would last for 5 years and it would then be sold for 50,000 end of the 5th year. So year 5 will be 160,000 plus 50,000. So that will give us an amount of £210,000 for the 5th year. So when we calculate the payback period, NPV, ARR, we have to consider year 5 cash flow as 210,000, not 160,000. Another important thing that you have to remember is the PV table. So as I said before, we have to use discounting factor. We have to use something called the cost of capital discounting factor, 12%. So we will have to look into the PV table, 12%. This particular column, and it is for 5 years. So we will be only taking the cost of capital, these discounting factors, for the first 5 years for our calculations. For an example, if the discounting factor is 10%, then we'll be taking the discounting factors of the 10% column for the number of years. So if the number of years is 10 years, then we'll take all the discounting factors that is related to 10 years. If it is related to 5 years, then we shall only take the discounting factors that is related to 5 years. So PV table will be used to take down the discounting factors when we do the investment appraisal calculations.